Welcome home, residents. It's your Mayor Alistair back once again, and it's a huge day for MonsterVerse fans. Probably the biggest day since Supernova was announced, because the trailer for Monarch Legacy of Monsters Season 2 has finally dropped, and it looks incredible. This comes off the heel of yesterday's announcements, first released by our friends over at Kaiju News Outlet, showing a group of people surfing before they are overrun by a swarm of small horseshoe crab-like Muto. Monarch then released a statement that confirms that KNO is canonically dead in the MonsterVerse, which I find extremely funny, and that the monsters are all moving towards Outpost 33, which is of course on Skull Island, where Monarch Legacy of Monsters Season 1 left off. They cryptically said something was dropping tomorrow, which of course was none other than a brand new trailer, and it is epic. The trailer promises more monsters, more action, and more blockbuster fun that monster fans have been asking for. And from the looks of it, less of that tween drama. But you'll see all that explained here and more, so let's not waste any time, let's break down that trailer. But of course, subscribe and hit that notification button to keep up to date with everything MonsterVerse related. Yes, even the 70% of you that aren't subscribed, do it! Godzilla is watching you. The trailer opens up with footage of the surface near a South Pacific island. Now, this place is said to be 4,800 miles off the coast of Outpost 33, which means this could take place in Peru or Chile. But even at their distance, they encounter monsters that seem to be hunting something. They wave at a nearby boat, unsuspecting of what's about to happen, and we hear a loudspeaker announce that the beach is closed, and that it is a restricted area, not to be explored. Which, of course, like any sound-minded individual, makes them want to explore even more. So they arrive at the beach and are greeted by hundreds of these tiny crab monsters. On closer inspection, we can see that instead of crustacean-like legs, it almost looks like flexible squid-like appendages. And at the front of their spiky carapace seems to be a round, drill-like mouth that's capable of devouring the surface with ease. This scene looks terrifying and seems like something you'd see in the opening of The Lost World. And I'd be shocked if this wasn't the opening of the first episode of Season 2, setting the tone for the following episodes. Now, we'll have more on these little guys later, but for now, let's move on. Next up, we see people sprinting in all directions as something massive crashes down behind them. On closer inspection, we can see that this is actually Kong, and from what we can gather, this likely takes place immediately following the ending of Season 1, where Kong has approached the Apex facility and destroyed everything in sight, due to the fact Apex has been messing with the Hollow Earth portals, which has been attracting Titans to Skull Island. Next, we see most of the main cast from Season 1 returning, reacting in horror to the destruction. Kate, played by Anna Sawai, Tim, played by Joe Tippett, Kentaro, played by Ren Watabe, Mei, played by Kiersey Clemens, and Hiroshi Randa by Takahiro Hira. And at the front is Keiko, played by Mari Yamamoto. And I just love how she's looking up in almost amazement. She's been Titan hunting all her life, so she's in her element right now, while everyone else is like, we need to leave now. Next up, we get the money shot of Kong roaring towards the camera, looking vicious as hell. This may be from the perspective of the team trying to escape, or it could be from an attack helicopter that fired a missile and missed, since in the background we see what looks to be trees engulfed in flame, which would naturally piss everyone's favourite hairy hippie off. No, I'm not talking about you, Jacob. Though he could also be roaring at something in the distance, perhaps another Titan that has been drawn to his position. Maybe Kamazots, the bat-like Titan that fans have been wanting to see in live action for years. Or maybe it's another terrifying monster, which we'll see later in the trailer. Next, we see one of the pods used to travel safely to the Hollow Earth being used once again, and in the background, a portal seems to be imploding. It lets out a huge shockwave that shakes the entire island, which Kate seems to observe from a distance. Because of the storm surrounding Skull Island, their only way out may be by going through the Axis Mundi, which of course manipulates time. Once you enter, depending how long you stay, there's no knowing how far in the future you'll end up, which actually becomes relevant for this next shot. Because what is happening here? We seem to be in China, people are all running away from something massive. Buildings are collapsing in the background and crushing the fleeing civilians beneath them. But China doesn't have any significant Titan attacks, at least as of yet. So what's happening here? Could the show be breaking some more lore? Has Kong got Godzilla riled up and attacking cities? Or perhaps this is a coordinated attack from another anti-Titan group, like what we saw in King of the Monsters? Well, this could actually be taking place in 2019, during Ghidorah's uprising. If our leads do make it to the Axis Mundi, rescue Lee Shaw, and get back to the surface, years could have passed, and they may be returning during the wake of Ghidorah's rampage. We might get first-hand accounts of what the attack was like, as Ghidorah was waking all the Titans up across the world, which means events like this could have happened despite it not really being reported in the lore up to this point. Abaddon, the spider titan from the game Survivor Instinct, was alleged to have come from China, so we may be seeing the rise of Titanus Abaddon and Kong's first encounter with this terrifying titan. Or it could just be a dream sequence. We do know Kate suffers from PTSD, so this could just be demonstrating how it's still affecting her. But what do you think the scene is? Let us know in the comments below. Next up, we see the return of Wyatt Russell as young Lee Shaw. I'm super thankful we're getting more scenes set in the past, since they were some of the best scenes in the show. I was worried they were done with them, since that side of the story seemed to be finished by the end of Season 1. But they appear to have figured out some way to flesh out the characters even more, and in this scene it looks to take place potentially on Skull Island, as the environment doesn't seem to quite match up with the Axis Mundi. Perhaps we get to see him learning the routes in and out of Skull Island by using the Hollow Earth portals. Now we get an amazing shot of Kong beating his chest, which never gets old. And the CGI here looks pretty good for a TV show. He's sporting his big bushy beard that we all know and love from Godzilla vs. Kong onwards. But his roar has more in common with his 2017 Skull Island version, which is interesting. I don't know if that's just for the trailer or if the sound design team deliberately chose that version. At this point, he'll be almost as tall as he was in Godzilla vs. Kong, which takes place 7 years following Season 2. Kong roars, and we see Kate running away. I'm willing to bet she found herself between a monster battle, because we all know Kong likes the ladies. Next up, we get the GOAT Kurt Russell back as Lieutenant Lee Shaw, who seems to actually have found a way out of the Axis Mundi that the show left him in at the end of Season 1. Though this could just be a flashback, since the series is all about confronting your past. Either way, he's looking at something with fear in his eyes, and I can only hope it's not connected to this next shot, because at least the trailer makes it look like he's about to get eaten by a giant squid-like monster, whose tentacles rise out of the ocean and crush the vessel, dragging it to the bottom of the ocean. Now, surely the trailer didn't just show the best character in the show being killed? And also, what was that thing? Most people have jumped to the obvious existing monsters. Many think it's the Kraken from the Skull Island anime, some think it's Nakika from the comics, others think it's Abzu, the creature that gave rise to Godzilla's evolution. But I think this is actually a grown-up version of the creature we saw at the start of the trailer. This crustacean creature that has squid-like legs. These are most likely the babies from this titan. In a press release kit, Apple stated on Skull Island there is a new mysterious village where a mythical titan rises from the sea. So chances are this is a monster that may have been mistaken for the Kraken, the ancient monster with legends of it bringing down sea vessels. Either way, this creature remains a mystery, as does the fate of the GOAT Lee Shaw. But remember what happened in Season 1? Their teasers mostly only showed stuff from the first half of that season. Then midway in, we got another mid-season trailer getting people hyped for the rest of the show. The same thing is likely happening here, as we're only seeing the first half of Season 2. So I'm willing to place money on Shaw surviving this and making it to the end of the series. The trailer might not have even showed what the big bad finale villain is. It might still be Camazotz. Then we get the title, Monarch: A Legacy of Monsters, coming February 27th, which is only around 3 months away. And one final thing to note, we actually hear Godzilla's roar, which means we may actually get to see the King of the Monsters in this season. The producers had previously stated that it's more of a Kong-focused season, which got people worried we're not going to see Godzilla, but I'm thankful that doesn't translate to you're not seeing Godzilla. This trailer looks awesome, and it seems like they've heard the criticisms from that first season. and are focusing more on the action, the Titan mythology, and the characters we actually liked. I think they know fully well that Lee Shaw is our favorite character, since they showed him more than anyone else in the recent promos.
You ain't getting rid of me that easy.
We also got some more information from the press kit, as they state Season 2 will reveal buried secrets that reunite our heroes and villains on Skull Island. The ripple effects of the past make waves in the present, blurring the bonds between family, friend, and foe. Hopefully that means May is a villain this time around, because I don't think anyone liked her. And here's the interesting part. They say all with the threat of a Titan event on the horizon. Now, could that be hinting at us seeing the Ghidorah Titan uprising? Since by the end of that first season, they weren't too far off that cataclysmic Titan event. It does seem to allude to that being a major role in the show. It also revealed that Apple has a multi-series deal with Legendary, confirming multiple spin-off series set in the MonsterVerse. Now, this was technically already known, but it's awesome to see that it's still a thing that's happening, and that the MonsterVerse will continue to have a home even past Monarch Legacy of Monsters and Godzilla X Kong Supernova. But what part of the trailer gets you hyped the most? Getting more Kong action, the return of Godzilla, or perhaps seeing Ghidorah's uprising? Let us know in the comment section down below. Don't forget to subscribe and stomp the notification button to keep up to date on everything MonsterVerse related. I've been Alistair, and we'll see you residents in the next one.